Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, and it's kind of like a video where I'm going to challenge you guys. Now, there's about 10 points that I've got in this video that I've thought of over the last couple of days, and I have had a few requests or questions from people in the past of how to make my photography better or how to get better as a photographer. And I think these 10 points will hopefully help you guys with knowing where to start to really get going with your work and really start improving a lot of different parts of your work. So my first point today, or my first challenge to you, is to do a 365-day or 52-week challenge. Now, you guys probably already know about these challenges. They've been around for quite a few years now, and they are awesome for improving your work, especially with the 365, but also with the 52 as well. Seeing the difference in your work between the beginning of the year and the end of the year is insane. And it used to be one of my favorite things, going on to places like Flickr, where a lot of people have done the 365 challenge, and seeing the progress that they've made throughout the year. So I would say 365 and 52 week is amazing for that. Like, get on that, seriously. If you really want to see a difference in your work over the next year or so, get shooting and produce one photo every day or one photo every week. I've done a 52-week project before and it went really well for me. I felt like I could look at the beginning of the year and see how much had progressed throughout. So I'd highly recommend getting onto that. They're really good for experimentation too. You can have a theme with your 52-week or 365 project, or you can just do it in general and take whatever photos you like. Number 2 is watch a video tutorial every day. And this is a really big one because I feel like you can learn so much in one video. Imagine if you were to watch one every day. And this is something that I've started doing lately because I feel like it's started to really improve some of my techniques, particularly in Photoshop. They're great for. I'm actually going to list some of my favorite fashion photography YouTubers and put them in the description box below. So definitely feel free to go and check those guys out because they have some amazing tutorials related to photography and Photoshop, which you guys could really learn a lot from if you're not already following them. But yeah, I would highly recommend just going on YouTube each day, or it doesn't even have to be YouTube. You can go and do a Google search. If you want to learn how to do something, just watch and read and learn as much as you can, because there's infinite amount of knowledge on the internet for you to utilize, or if not on the internet, even read books. Books are great for that. My third challenge is particularly for beginner photographers. And this is a challenge I've seen going around. And if you Google search 30-day photography beginner challenge, you'll probably see a lot of different challenges that you can do related to a 30-day one. And one in particular that I've seen with a 30-day challenge is all the beginner steps, and it is each day you take a photo relating to using something different on your camera or using a different technique. And this would absolutely get you to learn how to use your camera a little bit quicker as well. If you're really just starting out with photography, this is great. I know I saw one yesterday and it was like, number 1 was using a different ISO, and then number 2, I think day number 2 was like use a different aperture, and it's just getting you to move around your camera a little bit more and get to know it a bit better. And that's a great challenge. The 30 days, and then at the end of the 30 days you've pretty much learned how to use your camera, or the basics anyway. So I think that's a really good option for people who are just starting out. Number 4 would be to join a photography group and become a part of the community. There's so many other photographers out there that you can learn from and that you can make friends with as well. And it's always good to collaborate with other photographers. It does tend to help your business and theirs a lot of the time. I have joined lots of different Facebook groups before and met a lot of different people through them. Even had recommendations for makeup artists and models and hairstylists and that sort of thing. So I would definitely recommend doing that and really getting yourself out there into the photography community and making yourself known. Number 5 would be to have a camera on you at all times. And this can just be a phone camera. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the best camera that you have. It can literally just, it can be a GoPro, whatever you can fit in your bag or in your pocket is totally fine. And the challenge is to just kind of like, if you see something that's really cool or that would look great in a photo, take a photo of it. And each time, especially with smaller things such as your phone or smaller size cameras, you have a few more limitations on what you can do with the photographs, which makes it a little bit harder and more of a challenge. So that's really good to start thinking outside the box. and to come up with some photos that are a little bit more interesting in a little bit more of a difficult way. The next challenge, number 6, is to make an effort to organize your photo shoots at any time of the day. Now, most photographers, or maybe most websites or wherever, would probably tell you if you want to improve your photography, shoot at golden hour either in the morning or in the afternoon. Now, of course, that's going to give you amazing lighting shooting at those times of days, and that will produce generally better looking photos a lot of the time due to the really soft lighting. However, I feel like that's not a real challenge for you guys. So if you are to organize your photo shoots during midday or later in the morning, earlier in the afternoon, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So I think it gives you more preparation for those shoots where you're not able to shoot at golden hour. A lot of the shoots that I've done in the last year have not been in golden hour, and it's just simply because a lot of the time I can't get people available for that time of day, and especially in summer when it's quite late and golden hour happens around like 7, 8 o'clock at night. A lot of models, a lot of younger models particularly, won't be able to shoot around that time. So I think I've maybe done one golden hour shoot once in the last year. So I really would push you guys, if you're really wanting to take on a new challenge and to start producing better work at all times of the day, try and organize your photo shoots around the middle of the day in harsher light, because it's going to be more of a challenge for you. And a lot of the time you kind of need to know what to do in those situations. You need to know that you got to go find shade, or you'll have to use a reflector in a certain way, whatever it might be. And when you start getting paid jobs and you actually start getting commissioned to do shoots, it's a little bit more important to know how to handle those situations, because sometimes clients will not want you to be shooting at golden hour, like really early in the morning or really late in the afternoon, and it's just not possible. So I'd say get onto shooting at all times of the day and really start developing your skills in those areas and finding out what to do in those situations. Challenge number 7 is to look at your previous work once a month, at least once a month. So what I'm talking about when I say this is when you're organizing, say, photo shoot at the beginning of the month, the same time next month, look back on that shoot and see if you've made any progress in the meantime. Because I bet if you've done a couple of shoots in between, you probably have. And that's always a bit inspiring to see what sort of progress you've made so far. And it's a good way to keep pushing you along and to keep improving, because you know you're improving then if you can see the difference. I always love to look back at my work from last year and the year before, and I think my style has changed a lot in the last couple of years. So I really feel like it's an inspiring thing to look back on, and it's a good sort of way to push yourself to keep going and keep doing better. Number 8 is a big one, and it's one that I struggle with constantly, but it is a big challenge, and it's do not procrastinate. This is all too familiar for myself, but there is one thing that I do like to live by, and that's doing one thing every day that's going to contribute to your photography and your work. So I don't even care if it's like as small as contacting an agency. This is what I really like to do all the time. Just one thing every day that's contributing to your business and that's not being completely taken over by procrastination. But yeah, just keep that in mind. One thing every day that's going to get you a bit closer to where you want to be with your photography. And yeah, inch closer every day just by doing smaller things, making new contacts, reaching out to people, trying to re-edit some of your older photos, trying a new technique in Photoshop. Whatever you do, just try something new or do something that's going to contribute to your work. Number 9 is to create an inspiration database. I already have one of these on my computer, and I find it to be an absolute lifesaver when I need to make a mood board at the last minute, or I just want some inspiration. It's a great way to start learning, especially with fashion and fashion photography. It's a great way to start developing your fashion skills and your eye for fashion as well. Because at first I didn't know anything about fashion, and sometimes I do still struggle with it, but it's always good if you can keep looking at fashion sites and photography sites and sort of keep getting those trends that are coming in and adding to your inspiration database, because it's going to make it a little bit easier for yourself when you're looking at organizing new shoots, and you can sort of stay on trend with with current fashion, or just have a better eye for it in general. The inspiration side of that though is quite important, and it's something that I always like to have by me, my database of inspiration, because sometimes you do get in a bit of a rut. So if you can constantly try to inspire yourself, that's always going to be good. And number 10 is to create a social media presence and ask for feedback. Feedback is single-handedly one of the most important things you'll find in your first few years of doing photography in particular, and ongoing really, throughout your whole career. Feedback is so important, because especially coming from other professional photographers, it's going to help you see things that maybe you don't already see in your work, or things that might need to be improved upon that you can't quite see yet. They can pick up on it, and constructive feedback is always going to be so helpful, because you'll start to really notice trends with your own photographs and what you'd like to improve on and where you need to refine things. So feedback is a great way to do that. Obviously social media is full of feedback, so that's definitely a great place to start, whether you have an Instagram or a Facebook page or even a YouTube account. Just get yourself out there and try and get as much feedback as possible. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope these challenges have been inspiring and maybe a bit motivational for you. These are a lot of things that I have already done with my photography, and I've found that it's things that help me see a difference in my work quite quickly with a lot of these challenges. So I definitely recommend, if you do have the time, try them out, see how you go with them. I'd love to see more people doing the 52-week challenge and 365. And I will be announcing soon that I will be doing a challenge of sorts in the next year. So I'm not going to say what it is just yet, but I will give you more information later this month. And I'd really love to see people doing the challenge along with me, just to see, you know, how we're all improving. This is the reason that I want to do a challenge next year, because I want to challenge myself. I want to improve my work even more, and I want to see another difference sort of happening with my work and more improvement of skills. So thank you so much for watching guys. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please leave a comment in the comments section below and let me know what challenges you like to give yourself to help improve your work, or what challenges you would recommend for other people to do. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!